Welcome back. Another Thursday night. Another live stream. Come on in. Hit that like button. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. Hit that like button as you come on in. Shout out to Nick in the building. Appreciate you, Nick, for coming in, helping me moderate things. I didn't steal you from Kirk. You still Kirk's number one, but you know, if you can help me out from time to time, I would greatly appreciate it. Pippi is on vacation. I don't know where Pippi at. She said she's going to be gone for a while, so she probably went out of the country. Shout out to everybody. What's going on? Let me get this banner out the way so I can do this roll call. Mark Brown. Mark, the mentor, the man. Mark Brown, appreciate you. Aaron is in the building. Milwaukee, Detroit. In the building per usual. It's D Walk is in the building per usual. Zupchuck in the building per usual. Javon Jack in the building. SD, salute. We got Atlanta in the building. Atlanta is in the building. Texas is in the building. Boston is in the building. So come on in, guys. Come on in. Let me know where you're checking in from. Tonight we are going to be talking about pivoting from OTR over to Curbside Final Mile. Something that, you know, we been touching on lately. Y'all know how I operate. You know, I don't come on here and make videos and just say the same things that everybody else is saying. It's not a shot to anybody else or nobody else, but you know, when I do things, I come with solutions. I try to provide solutions for people. Anybody can get up here and talk about how bad this is or how bad that is or the rates are trash and all this, that, and the third. But what makes it true content, well, I don't really say content creator because you got like different forms of content creation. But let me just say my thing is solution based. If I'm gonna spend my time, I'm gonna spend my time providing my subscribers with some sort of solution. You know, we're gonna talk through issues that are going on. We're gonna all strategize together. I'm gonna give you my experiences and what I've done in the past and how I've been able to overcome certain things based off experience. And we're gonna navigate through this thing called logistics. You know, we're not gonna get up here and just talk about how bad things is with no solutions. You dig what I'm saying? So come on in and make sure you hit that like button. My name is Virgil. My name is Virgil. It says no name, but it's Virgil. Okay, well, shout out to you, Virgil. Shout out to you. Shavonte Evans, what is going on, brother? What is going on with you, brother? I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. Hope you're doing well as well. I see Facebook. We got some people in here from Facebook. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Facebook. Shout out to everybody that is watching on YouTube. Atlanta is in the building. Akeem Peyton watching over from Facebook. We got Boston in the building. Carey 876. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in from Boston. All right, so come on in. All right, so where should I start? Who got a chance to check out the podcast for Monday night? Let's start there. Who got a chance to check the podcast out? Everybody check the podcast out from Monday night. What did y'all think about the show Monday night? What do y'all think about this past Monday night show? Talk to me. Let me know what y'all thought about this past Monday night show. Let me know. We got Chicago in the building. Max from Chicago. Chicago, man, we got to get hometown. A air horn. Shout out to Chicago. Chicago's in the building. Shout out to Max M. Let me see it. I don't think it got heated. I think sometimes when you come from a place of, I don't even want to say like love, because you know we really don't, like, I'm gonna keep it funky with you. I'm not the type of person to sit up here, you know, like when you collaborate with people, you know what I'm saying? You collaborate with people because you kind of bump into each other in the same space. But everybody come from different walks of life. I don't, personally know anybody. Some people you can collaborate with, and a lot of things you see eye to eye with. Some things you may disagree with, but nobody that you collaborate with or I collaborate with. We come from different walks of life. We come from different backgrounds, different cultures, So sometimes, you know, the way you may be try to look out for somebody, maybe it may come from a place. Maybe it was like tough love, but I don't want to use the word love because it wasn't really no love. It was just, maybe just trying to express, what I was saying. And then you gotta understand, it's three people on the platform. It's three people. So, and it is, we discuss topics and then we debate topics. If you remember a few weeks ago, Kirk was in the hot seat. A lot of people in the chat was, but at the end of the day, it was what it was. Not to say one day I may not be in a hot seat. You know what I'm saying? But if it's three people, it's an odd number. So unless three people agree on one thing, then somebody's going to be on the odd, on the odd side, right? And that's that day it was him. So, and then you had a lot of people in the chat, that were on one side as well. So I understand how a person could probably feel like they were probably being ganged up on, but it wasn't. That wasn't the case. You know what I'm saying? It's a debate show. Sometimes we debate things, and I felt like I was looking out for his best interests. But that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? Um, um, if I feel like someone is going down a path, then and I personally have some sort of communication with them, and I can give my advice. I'll give my advice whether the person takes it or does it. My door is always open to him. I've reached out to him. 3 times, called him. Got sent a voicemail, text message. I'll call you right back. Never got a call back. So I'm just gonna be open about it because it happened publicly. The way it was, he exited. So it's my right or my due. I think it should just update it to the viewers where it stands, so that if we go forward and he's not here, then you guys understand why I reached out 3 times. That night after the show, the next day I called twice, got sent a voicemail with an immediate text right after saying that he would call me back. He texted me, said, "I'm calling you back. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I'll call you right back." That was Monday night, Tuesday night. Today is Thursday. Never got a call back. So, if you're watching, you're welcome to call me back. The door is open. But at the end of the day, I reached out. I'm not going to keep reaching out. The show got to go on. We're going to still do it, with or without. You know what I'm saying? So, and then I'm going to say this. If you are on a platform with someone or with people, right, and it's not going your way, especially on a debate platform where we on the previous that was a 4th episode. On the previous 3 episodes last week, I put the timer on. Everybody stated their case, and then after the timer went off, I said, "All right, can debate it." We debated different things, and it was fine. It was just this time it was just more one-sided. So I understand how he could feel, but I'm gonna say this: if you can't handle that heat on a panel that you sit on, that you're hosting, what happens when you go out and deliberately go after people? Right? You go after people. Some people you may get the ups on, but eventually you're gonna meet your match, and somebody gonna want to give you that issue that you're trying to bring to them. All right. So if you can't handle the heat on a platform, on a panel that you're sitting on, just a friendly debate where at the end everybody's going to shake hands and go their separate ways, you bring issues to people that you're purposely trying to stop their money flow, whether they're getting money morally the right way or immorally the wrong way. Eventually, you get to messing with people's money and being detrimental to how they make their bread and calling them out. Somebody gonna want to, fight back. All right. And then what's going to happen? That's why I say leave it alone, because clearly this might not, you got to be cut like that. If you going after people, you got to be prepared for the repercussions that may come behind it. It takes a certain type of person to be cut like that. And if you can't handle the heat on your own platform debate show that we created, then maybe my advice, that I was trying to give the other day, maybe it should be taken heed to. And I'm going to leave that like that. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to leave that like that. So and that's all I got to say. Let me get back to what we were talking about. I'm going to do this roll call and then we're going to get in. And I understand where you and Kurt was coming from. Yo, what's good, everybody? What's up? What's up? Mark, you are from Chicago. Can we have a meetup? I'll buy you a beer. Yeah, I'll let you know next time I step out. You know what I'm saying? Or you can, hit me in the DM when I move around. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I'll be out. You can link up. I didn't get to see the Monday live because it was deleted. Who are the three wise men? So the live didn't get deleted. And this is why I meant to say this is why I'm talking about that, because a few people asked me about they didn't get to the replay. I didn't lie. I just put it on private. You know what I'm saying? Even though I didn't talk to him, I don't want nobody feeling. I'm just a real dude. I don't want nobody feeling a certain type of way. So even though I haven't spoken to him, I just put it on private because obviously he felt a certain type of way because of how he exited. So until I speak to him, I just put it on private because I respect people's feelings. Even though that was a good show, and I know people want to see it, I still respect, people's feelings. And I haven't spoken to him. I've reached out, like I said, 3 times. He sends me the voicemail with a text that says he's gonna call me right back. He don't call me back. So I read between the lines. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate, but like I said, we were debating something. It didn't get. I don't think it wasn't out of line because wasn't nobody calling each other's out their names or nothing. It was just 2 people. Well, really 1 person, me, trying to explain to him that it would be more beneficial to, 1, educate the consumer instead of spending time fighting a fight that you're never going to win, and 2, now I can utilize this. When you're going after people, there are going to be repercussions that come behind it. And you have to be able to stand 10 toes down for whatever comes your way. See, here's the thing. You may have a plan on how you're going to present and go at what you're going to go at, but certain people don't play fair. So you have to keep that in mind. That when you going and you messing with people, it's going to be that 1 person that's going to want to mess back, but they may go a little bit farther than you and take it a little bit more out of hand than you. You see what I'm saying? And if you can't handle a little, back and forth debate on a platform where at the end of the show we're going to shake hands and go our separate ways and do it again the next week, what's going to happen when you're dealing with somebody you don't know that you're deliberately going after, messing with their bread, messing with they image online, putting claims on them, whether they write the right thing or the wrong thing, whatever, and they come back at you. You gotta be able to stand 10 toes down now. So that's why I took it down, out of respect for him. Until I talk to him, if I don't talk to him, I'm not gonna put it back up. So it is what it is, So that's why I took it down, or that's why I put it on private. And that's that. So everybody knows. So let me see. Aaron says good debate. Went off topic, and I was trying to get it back on topic, but you know what I'm saying. But it is what it is. But yeah, we're gonna continue to do it. It is what it is. We just gonna either be with him or without him. But like I said, I know he's probably watching. My door is open. My line is open. We could talk. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Interstate Screw said it was a good show for sure. I actually once to put people on blast who make business harder for those trying to do business the right way. And I get that. I get it too, but you got to get what I'm saying. When you go after people deliberately, whether you're going after them with your good intentions or not, right? Your intentions could be good, but certain people you go after, they're going to want to retaliate. And the way they may retaliate may not be fair. So you got to understand, I'm the type of person where I was raised like, man, you don't go bothering nobody. You don't go nitpicking at nobody. You mind your own business. You mind your own business. You see what I'm saying? You mind your own business because you don't know what other people are capable of. So you don't go picking a fight. All right. And I wasn't speaking from that example, but since what happened that day towards the end of the show, how he exited when it got kind of heated and he felt like, I wasn't listening or this, that, and the third. If you can't handle me, what's going to happen when somebody that you're deliberately going after and you're jeopardizing their income because they're making money, let's say whether it's off suckers or not, whether they're making it morally or immorally, and they want to retaliate, they may not play fair with you. And you can't run and click and hit the end button. You're gonna have to handle that business because you started it. So that's what that is. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you don't go picking for fights and stuff. You mind your business. I feel like you should, and this is me personally, and this is why I'm not, if he's watching, this is what I would say to him on the phone. So if he decides that he wants to call, fine. If he don't want to call, that's still fine. But now you know how I feel. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, what happened. I apologize if he feels a certain type of way. And that's why I took it down. You know what I'm saying? I just took it down, because clearly I don't want nobody feeling some type of, clearly felt the type of way. So after the show, I just put it on private. It is what it is. I'd rather educate the people. I don't go picking for fights. I don't got time for that because then if I go pick a fight and somebody want to fight back, now I'm spending my time fighting instead of that's taking time away. I could be educating my consumer, my subscriber, but I'm too busy strategizing and planning how I'm going to go to war. It's not worth it. Now, if somebody come messing with me, then yeah, you got a right to defend yourself. But deliberately picking fights and stuff like that, nah, man, that's not how I was raised. I was raised to mind my business. If somebody hits you, you hit them back. All right. If people come messing with you, then we deal. We gonna go get cousin Pookie, cousin Ray Ray. We gonna go get the fam. We gonna go get them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna get too far into details, but y'all understand what I'm saying. Then we gonna handle our business. We don't go out deliberately looking for stuff. We're not here to save the world. We don't go looking for fights and we don't go to war with people. That's just not what we do. That's not how I was raised. And, I'm going to always have my stance on that. I'm not going to sit by and have a stance on something on a show where we're debating different options that we were supposed to be talking about YouTubers, and he took it back to the brokers. And I said multiple times, no, we got a topic. We need to stay on top. But hold on, Mark. But the brokers, man, I'm tired of talking about brokers. I don't want to talk about brokers. We come up with topics. I want to stick to the topic. You know what I'm saying? If we would have stuck to the topic, none of that stuff would have happened. You see what I'm saying? So none of that stuff would have happened. So if you're watching, that's my stance. You could call me. You don't got to call me. If you want to call me, I'm going to answer. I'm not going to, I'm going to answer. So that's that. Cultural differences. I said that multiple times. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he said right, because the trolls won't stop. Right, they're not going to stop. So, I got love. I just want to see him win. I just want to see him win. That's it. But I don't want him to get into something where it's going to ultimately take away from the value that he could provide to other people. You know what I'm saying? And that's all I was trying to say. And it might have gotten, but man, it is what it is. But it would have ended. All right, guys, see you next Monday. And it would have been good. You know what I'm saying? It would have been good no matter how. It's just like watching First Take or just like watching Undisputed. You know what I'm saying? I watch Shannon and Skip battle and argue about Michael Jordan, LeBron James all the time. Who's better? You know what I'm saying? I listen to Stephen A. Smith go off all the time. And then at the end of the day, Kendrick Perkins. At the end of the day, they still work together. Fine. That's all it was. So nobody got disrespected. Nobody got called out their name. It was a manly debate on business practices, right? Ethics, right? And what holds more value. So I can't apologize for a debate that was a tough debate that was off principles. That a debate that wasn't, it wasn't just a debate where we was debating about like goofball stuff. Like those things that we were going back and forth with were serious topics. You see what I'm saying? So, man, you got to be able to handle that heat, man. If you can't, man, you can't go picking for fights. You know. But let's get back to the show. I just had to go ahead and touch on that since people was messaging me and asking me um, what happened to that stream for everybody that didn't get a chance to watch the replay. I took it down. It was my decision, and I respect people's feelings. And even though I haven't spoke to him, I just know he got an issue because the way he exited the show. So I took it down. All right, so come on in. Tonight we're gonna be talking about. Um, uh, uh, Damn, I lost my train of thought. Pivoting from OTR, right, to curbside final mile. And the reason why we're steady on this topic is because of everything that's going on. You got, people still complaining. I think a lot of the reason why people are in this sentiment because y'all on the internet too much. I went and perused the internet the other day, yesterday. I perused YouTube. I really don't peruse it that much, but yesterday I went on here and I had a little downtime, so I went on here and perused the internet, YouTube, right? And I wanted to see what was out there, what people were creating. Some videos I clicked on, some I just looked at the title, see. And I wanted just to see what was out there, and I kind of see why everybody is in this mood about these rates and blah blah blah, because everybody is just pretty much saying the same thing. All right, but nobody has solutions. All right, so this is why I try to make content and do live streams that are solution based, right? So that people can have something to go off on when they wake up the next day, to kind of try to pivot their business from being unsuccessful to successful. All right, so the rates are the rates. The rates are the rates. The longer you complain about the rates, the more your business is going to suffer. Now you can make a decision. Someone left a comment into that video I did about 2 weeks ago, maybe a week ago, where I said scared money don't make no money. And somebody left a comment and said, you know what? It's hard the first time. Basically saying the first time you have to make that tough decision of pivoting, it's very hard that first time making that change decision. Because in business you may have to pivot multiple times. So the first time is hard, and I agree. But business is not for the faint of heart. It's not. It's not for the faint of heart. If you have a weak heart, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking, literally like if you got a weak heart, like if your heart is not, like if you're just not a strong person, if you you cower out, behind the simplest things that can be solved, like every little small thing you whine and you complain and you get lost in the sauce about, then business is not for you. It's not for you. I've been in some tough situations in business, very tough, and I've told some stories, and I got plenty more stories that I can tell. So very tough situations, and the only thing I could do was figure a way out of them if I want to stay in business. And that's what you got to do. Like, if you want to sit by idly and just continue to complain about these rates and not do nothing about it, then business is probably not for you. You probably should just go get a job. If OTR is the lane you want to do because it's less manual as far as hands on with the freight, then that's fine. But if it's not working, you may have to transition into something that's a little bit more manual. It's a little bit more manual. You got a truck. You got to do what you need to do so that truck and that business makes money. All right. And I don't know how many different ways I can tell you, but I want to not lay the pressure on so much because I went and perused the YouTube yesterday and I saw that everybody's putting up these. Everybody likes to use the word trash. The rates are trash. Man, let me explain something to you. The rates aren't trash. You go ask anybody that was in business prior to the pandemic. Somebody actually said in the chat the other day on when we were live that uh, the same thing I say. The rates are similar to the rates prior to the pandemic. You go ask anybody that was in this business prior to the pandemic about the rates, they're gonna say the same thing. If you go shadow anybody that was in this business that's still in this business prior to the pandemic, and then you parallel that to someone that got in the business during the pandemic, I guarantee you the person that was in the business prior to the pandemic is just life is peachy. They go to work, do their job, mind their business, and go home. The person that got in during the pandemic, and I'm not saying everybody, but let's say at least 50%. I really want to say more, but I don't, let's just say 50% are complaining. All right. The rates are the rates. The rates are similar. Somebody in the chat said it the other day. Like, man, rates are similar to what before the pandemic. Because they are. It's because they are. Everybody's business is different as far as how they entered, right? And as far as what their overhead costs are. That's why I always, preach, your overhead. I know that big new shiny truck, I know, it looks pretty and all, but you may not be really able to afford that brand new truck. Literally. You know what I'm saying? Literally. It may be best to get an older truck. And I know you got some people that are against it. I'm not. I'm totally not. When I was building my fleet, my trucks were 8 years old when I was buying them, except the 2 new ones that I bought. My trucks were 8 to 9 years old back when I started building my fleet. All of them were 05s and 06s. And the ones that I still have, they're working perfectly fine. Never had any transmission issues, never had any motor issues. They were fleet owned. They came from budget. So you have to make sure that your overhead is something that you can afford, and you have to understand the market, what the market is calling for. You know what I'm saying? Like some people jump into this business with, like I said in the video, they have box truck dreams and cargo van money. You got box truck dreams, but you got cargo van money. It's not going to take you very far. It's just like you go get that S5A. Let's say you got the credit and you can finagle your way around the dealership and that finance office, knowing good and goddamn well you can't afford that S580. 120,000, you know what I'm saying? You paying 2,500, 26, depending on your credit, it could be paying upwards of 3,000. Let's say 2,500 a month. All right. You paying another 300 for the insurance, right? Depending on your age, where you live at, your motor vehicle report, things of that nature. It's going to be about 300. You're going to be paying for an S5A, you're going to be paying about close to 300, about 300 a month right now. Insurance went up. My insurance has gone up on my personal vehicles. It's went up on my commercial vehicles too. So let's say 300 a month, right? All right. But really, you can only afford to drive a Honda Civic or like a Chevy Malibu. So what's going to happen? In good goddamn well, you can't afford it, but you finesse the finance office, you make up some fake W-2s, they give it to you. You got 45 days to make the first payment. You make the first payment, but you felt it. Second payment come around, it's hurting you because $2,500 a month is a lot to pay for a car. So you got Honda Civic money, but you got S580 dreams. You can't afford it, right? Because you got rent to pay or mortgage to pay. You got 2 kids. You got utilities. And the money that you're bringing in, right? You work a job, right? The money that you're bringing in is just not going to be able to sustain an S580 at this time. Doesn't mean that later on, as you advance in your career, right, you won't be able to afford that $120,000 car, right? But right now, you can't. All right. You got to understand what you can do in the moment. A lot of people, well, man, and here's another thing, because I talk to a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people respect my opinion and they reach out to me and I have conversations with them, in this business. Here's the thing what a lot of people think. They think, well, you know what? I know I can't afford it, but if they approve me, I'm going to get it. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to scale my business up and then I'll be able to afford it. And that's a horrible way of thinking about it. That's a horrible way of looking at it, because it just doesn't happen like that. You have to go into business at the moment, what you can afford at the moment, because it may not work that way. You have to learn the business in order to scale. Everybody thinks that, oh, well, if I go get a second truck, I'm not making money in this first truck. But if I add a second truck, and this is another thing that a lot of people have been coming to me with lately, like everybody's in um, um, the scale frenzy right now. And then I have to shut everybody down. And then when I explain it to people why you're not ready, it makes sense to them, right? Everybody's in this scale frenzy. Well, you know what? I'm not making money in this truck, but once I go get this second truck, then I'll be made. It don't work like that. I say it all the time. Listen, if you're failing with the first truck, the only thing you're gonna go do if you go get a second truck is duplicate the failure from the first truck. So now instead of failing once, you're failing twice. So you've amplified your losses times two. The whole purpose of scaling is duplicating your success in a trajectory going up and to the right. That's what scaling is. Duplicating your success in a trajectory going up and to the right. Just like looking at the stock market chart. If you haven't figured out how to profit, right, from the first truck, then what do you think you're going to do with the second truck? Just because you got a second truck, well, this is going to pay everything in the second truck. No, that's not the formula. It don't work like that. You're going to fail in the second truck the same way you're failing in the first truck. And you went in your pocket again to acquire the second truck. What do I always say? Once you initially invest into your business, right? It's like a child. I birth a child. I nurture the child. I raise the child so that when the child gets grown, everything that I've instilled in that child, right? They're going to go out, right, into the world and take all the teachings, all the things that I've taught and instilled into that child, and they're going to execute that stuff, right, to be successful on their own. I'm pops, right? If they ever need anything, they fall flat, because sometimes you fall down, you got to get back up and you need that helping hand. I'm never going to let my child, just because they left, it's not like I'm just going to leave them hanging, as long as they're trying, and they're working towards something, I'm going to pull them back up, right? But initially, the whole purpose of me raising them and nurturing them and instilling these morals and these values and my experience and wisdom into them, send them to school and educate them so that they can duplicate what I've done and what I've instilled in them, so they can go do it on their own. Same thing with a box truck or any business. You initially go into your pocket and start this business. You invest into this business. You build this business. It's just like nurturing a child. The building process of building that business is like the nurturing part of, when you're nurturing and your child is growing up and you're instilling these morals and the values, and you sit in the school, you're educating them, right? To eventually, once you build that business up and you see it starts to be successful, it should be able to sustain on its own. And that's when it's time to scale up, because the business is sustaining on its own and it's paying you. What happens when as your kids get older, you get older. Not every parent grows to be healthy, and sometimes your kids got to return the favor. When you get old, your kids got to come take care of you. It may not be financially, but they may have to come bathe you and wipe you and clean you, whatever. As you get older, you got to kind of take care of your parents. Your parents get older. You build your business up, you send your business, it sustains itself, and then the business gives back to you. So if your business hasn't given back to you ever, why do you think it's time to scale? Scaling is duplicating. That's all it is. So either you're going to duplicate your success or you're going to duplicate your failure. Or if you're breaking even, you're just going to break even. But you reach back in your pocket just to break even. So why put all that more pressure on you when you already got enough pressure on you from the first truck, trying to figure out how to make that truck sustain on its own? So, this is the stuff that I teach on my channel. I don't get on here with the rhetoric and just complain about stuff. I give people solutions. I tell people things to jog their brain or intellect, to get them to thinking. Because that's what business is about. It's about constantly thinking. When you're running a business, you're constantly thinking. My brain is never not working. I'm more mentally tired than physically. I can go to the gym, work out for 2 hours, and my body will be tired, but my brain gonna always be tired, because even when I'm in the gym, I'm planning for the next day, the next week, the next month down the line. I'm always thinking ahead, because I don't want to never get left behind. So that's that. So pivoting from OTR, because a lot of people want to pivot from OTR because they can't handle the race, right? So I started talking about curbside final mile. I get it. A lot of people don't want to do big and bulky final mile. I get it. I'm not, here to tell you or sell you on anything. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. It's tough work. You know what I'm saying? You talking to a person who, has done it for many years. It's not easy. It's not easy work. It's liability driven. It's high risk. The reward is high because of that. It's labor intensive, back breaking work that pays exceptionally well. But that's not for everybody. Just like OTR may not be for everybody. We talked about high density, low density the other day, right? Market analysis, knowing your area. OTR may not be for everybody for a multitude of reasons. Some people can't handle the loneliness, whatever the case may be. But right now it seems like people are complaining about the race. So it's this thing called curbside final mile. Now the opportunity is there. It's not as plentiful as your big and bulky final mile. All right, it's not as plentiful, but the opportunities exist. Mark, I love what you're talking about, the curbside final. I get this all the time, but I can't find it anywhere. You're not gonna find it anywhere. There are some job postings for some, but majority of them you're not gonna find. All right, online. All right, you're gonna have to go and acquire within. All right, later on, I'm gonna give you 5 companies. Some of these companies I never talked about. I really, I'll say that for another show. I'm gonna give you 5 companies. A few of these companies I haven't talked to y'all about before, so you may want to get your notes ready or whatever. We're gonna go over the 5, and I counted them down from 5 to 1. But let's go over this pivoting thing real quick. Because I think a lot of people just need to go ahead and stop biting the bullet and just do it. It's hard. Changing is hard. But either you can change, right? Here's the thing. If you're failing now, it can't get, if you're failing, you might as well go ahead and see what this other lane has to offer. Because if you're failing now, you're going to fail. You're failing. So see what else it has to offer. I mean, it can't hurt you. It can only help you at this point, right? It can only help you at this point. So let's talk about the whole pivot process, why you should pivot. Let's do some pros and some cons, some pros and some cons on um 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 damn. Y'all got me losing. Well, y'all ain't got me losing my train of thought, but I'm losing my train of thought. Let's do some pros and some cons for OTR, right? In comparison to curbside final mile. I'm just trying to pull myself up on the screen, y'all, but it ain't. For some reason, it ain't working. Hold on, y'all. I may not be able to pull myself up. Hold on, let me see here. Let's see if I can do it now. No, y'all don't see me. All right. So anyway, Guess y'all not going to be able to see me on this one until I switch the camera back over. All right, so pros and cons of OTR. Pros, great pay. You get to travel, right? And independence. Independence, right? So the pay is really good for OTR. You know what I'm saying? If the rates are right, if your cost is, low enough that, the rates are not killing you, right? Travel, a lot of people like traveling the open road. Independence, you don't have a boss looking all over your shoulder. The cons, you're away from home. Some people lack that, they just need to be around loved ones, kids, family, things of that nature. You get lonely on the road. I understand how that can be. I've did some long distance trips with my moving company where I've had to drive, across country, and it does get lonely out there. And a big thing that a lot of people don't talk about is health. Health is very, 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 very important. And I think a lot of people, um, a lot of people forget about that aspect of being out there on the road, not being having access to a gym facility. You can walk around, you can do some jumping jacks, you can do some stretches, things of that nature. And I'm probably going to start talking about health eventually. And I think health is very important. A lot of truckers, are very unhealthy due to the lack of exercise and just due to the lack of nutritious meals that are out there on the road in some of these travel plazas. So those are some of the cons of, being an OTR trucker. All right, now let's talk about pros and cons of curbside final mile. All right, curbside final mile. Man, I really want to pull my thing up. It's not working. All right, but so curbside final mile pros, great pay. Pay is similar, guys. Pay is really, really similar to being over the road. I have some subs that have transitioned over, and they're making just about, if not more, than what they were making on the road. And I'm just being completely honest with you. You get to be at home. All right. You get to see your family. You get to kiss your kids. Get to kiss your girl or your wife. You get to do fun things on the weekend. You're not stuck somewhere trying to find a load back or trying to find a load here, or this, that, and the third. Consistency. All right. You didn't drop something off and now you're sitting for a day or two because the stuff you're coming across you just don't want to take because the rates aren't what you need to make money. So you're just waiting it out until you find something going in whatever direction. Consistency. You got something Monday through Friday, in some cases Monday through Saturday. Every day, you got something. Every day you got something. You don't know what it is, but they're going to have some 15 stops for you, 10 stops, 12 stops, whatever. They're going to have something for you. Relationships. A lot of time when you're doing curbside final mile, you're going to be dealing with the same people, especially if you're doing B2B. Mark, what is B2B? Business to business. Some of those things that'll be on the back of your truck will be business to business. All right. So you may be frequenting some of the same places often, maybe every day, sometimes multiple times a week. Then health. You get a chance to go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? Use real equipment. Work out, because you're home. You know what I'm saying? So wherever your membership is, you can go there and get your workout on. Now, cons. I know y'all like, man, you trying to sell us on this. You only put two cons. But man, to me, it's only really two cons that I could think of. And that's the manual labor that everyone seems to complain about. But it's not as much manual labor as it is with big and bulky final mile, right? Only thing you're going to be doing with curbside final mile is utilizing your pallet jack. So you're going to climb up onto the back of your truck at every stop. You're going to lower your gate, right? You're going to move some pallets around. You're going to pump up your pallet jack. Put in the pallet, pump it up. Some pallets are going to weigh more than others because some things are going to be heavier than others. You're going to pull it back to your lift gate. You're going to lower your lift gate. You have to do a little stretching as the lift gate goes down, You're going to pull it off. Now, sometimes you're going to have something on that pallet that's heavy. You may have to go up a slight hill or maybe a slight driveway but, it's not as much manual labor as big and bulky final mile because it's curbside. You're either dropping it at the curb, at the doorstep. If you're nice, you're doing like a home delivery, right? Instead of leaving it on the curb, if they have an attached garage, let's say a garage, hey, can you just put it in the garage for me? Sure, I'll put it in the garage for you. You're not going up any stairs. You just put it in the garage. If it's B2B, business to business, 9 times out of 10, you're backing into a dock. So, still same thing. You're not going up any stairs. You're just bringing it into the facility, the warehouse, or whatever. Or if it's a business that doesn't have a dock, you're just taking the pallet off, bringing it to wherever they receive deliveries at. All right, but everything is palletized, so it's not. There's no stairs or lifting. You're just moving your pallet jack around, and you're just dropping the pallet wherever that stuff needs to go. Longer hours. In some cases, you may be working longer hours, depends on where your route is. That's going to determine your market, guys. That's going to determine your market. If you in middle America somewhere, if you live in a city that has low density, if you live in a city that may not be as populated as some of the more larger urban cities. So if you live, like I say, in Cincinnati or in let's say Louisville, or let's say, I'm just trying to think of some of the places that I've coached people recently in the past week that are not really high density. Louisville, Cincinnati, let's say like Kansas City, Missouri, let's say Sioux Falls, South Dakota, um, uh, you know, Savannah, Georgia, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? That in between each stop, you may have to travel, let's say 15, 20 miles in between each stop. Whereas if you're like, let's say in somewhere that's more high density, more populated, right? Your stops may be shorter in between, ultimately decreasing your time that you're out on your route, right? For that particular day. So that's going to determine how long you're going to be on the truck. All right. There's other factors like that, you guys know, weather, traffic, things of that nature. But for a lot of you guys that are struggling or complaining about OTR, and there's a lot of you guys, because I talked to all my coaching sessions lately. Well, most of my coaching sessions, besides the new people that are getting in that want to strategize with me, pretty much all the coaching sessions for people that are already in the space, right, have been, man, Mark, help me pivot from OTR to curbside final mile. For whatever reason, I need to be home. The rates out here ain't cutting it. I'd rather be local, whatever the reason are. So about 60% of my coaching sessions now are people who want to pivot. All right, so pivoting is simple. Start applying with companies, go through the onboarding process, say goodbye, say bye-bye to over the road, start curbside final mile. That's it. Recently I had one person coached him into T-Force doing Home Depot curbside final mile at $42.89 a stop. So let's say $43 a stop. That's good money. 5 days a week, 15 stops a day. Do the math. You're spending less fuel, right? You're saving more money because you're some of your variable costs are less now, and you're pretty much grossing the same thing. Not everybody out there running OTR is grossing $5,000 a week. I know, because I talk to people all the time. You got some people grossing 25, 27, 3,000, 24. Not everybody is pulling $5,000 a week. Especially now. So that's how you maneuver. So now let's get into these companies. Let's get into these companies. I ain't gave y'all a spill. I didn't kind of like, talk to y'all about why, the whole, gave y'all the spill on why y'all should stop complaining and just go ahead and do it. I didn't talked about people say, well, Mark, it's tough. The first time you got to transition in business, it's tough. And I agree with you. It is tough, but guess what? You got to do it. You know what I'm saying? Business is about problem solving. Most of your time in business, and here's another thing, most of your time in business is going to be solving problems. That's it. Business ain't nothing but problem solving. You're going to be solving problems every day. If you run a restaurant, it's going to be one person that's going to come in your restaurant and complain about something. Every day. If you run into the department store, it's going to be at least one person that's going to come in and complain about something. And you're going to have to solve that problem. And that's just going to be one of many problems. You're going to have employee issues. You're going to have structural issues. All right? Your truck, and let's go back to the trucking. You're going to have truck issues. You might get to a location and you got an issue on the dock. You may have paperwork issues. You know what I'm saying? You may have issues at home that are affecting your business. Problem solving. That's all business is problem solving. If you can become a great problem solver, then you will be successful in business. I said this before, and I will say it again. If you can become a good problem solver, you can become a successful business owner. If you're not a good problem solver, then you're going to fail at business. Any business that you do, I don't care if you open a lemonade stand, okay? I don't care if you open a lemonade stand and somebody gives you all the lemons, the sugar, and the water for free. If you're not a good problem solver, you're going to fail at it. All right? So let's get into my top 5 curbside final mile companies. All right, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do like how I did when I did the countdown. I'm gonna list the companies from 5 to 1. I'm just pulling up the first company on another screen so I can screen share you the company so you guys will know where to go. Let me pull this up here. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna count the company now in reverse order from 5 to 1, and I'm gonna show you the company. If I dealt with the company, I'll tell you what I've done with the company, what I think about it. If not, I can only go off what I've known people that have dealt with it, or just what I know about it from just being in the space. Let's go ahead and get started with that. All right. Let's get started with that real quick. Let me pull it up. All right. So the 5th company, counting down from 5 to 1. All right. Number 5 is going to be R&L Carriers. All right. R&L Carriers. R&L Carriers. The reason why that's number 5. Here's the thing about R&L Carriers. R&L Carriers, if you're lucky enough to get a curbside final mile account with them, and the reason why I say lucky is because it's not easy to get one. It's not even easy to apply. But the reason why I know it exists because I know people that do it. I have subs that do it. All right. If you're lucky enough to get it, it pays exceptionally well. It pays about $50 a stop. You can make an upwards. I got subs making $1,000 a day. All right. The reason why I put them at number 5 is because they make it very hard. It's not easy to find where to sign up for this particular lane. All right. With calling, with their website, because it's a mega carrier that deals in all forms of logistics from air to ocean to land, their website is kind of jumbled. So what I say is if you have an R&L carrier in your area, go there. I've had people go there. They've said the same thing. But I'm telling you, it exists because I know people that run it, right? I know someone that runs it here that's a sub. They actually live in the next state over, Indiana, and they come over to Illinois to pick up their freight to go run their route in like the South Bend, going out that way in the middle, in the boondocks of Indiana, right? So this is their website. And like I just saw somebody say, on in the chat, their website is difficult. Like I said, their website is very difficult. And this is why I give them a 5. All right. I give them a 5 because their website is difficult. All right. But the pay scale is very, very good. It's very, very great. All right. So $1,000 a day. I mean, I the only thing I can tell y'all guys outside of that, they have Curbside, Final Mile, um, mostly B2B stuff, B2B and consumer based, right? Um, is that it pays very well, it exists, and I really can't tell you nothing else about it because to this date, I've had a hard time. One, getting in contact with someone from there, or two, finding out even where to uh, go through the process or start the process on their website. So the only thing I can tell you guys is if there's one in your area, maybe go there. You guys can try to contact customer service and see if you guys can get better farther, than everyone else, including myself, has. But the information that y'all need is that they have a curbside um, uh, lane. It pays better than a lot of the other ones that I've seen. A lot of it is really commercial B2B. You got, and then like big and bulky palletized stuff that's going to the home. So you're going to probably see a lot of treadmills, right? Um, a lot of commercial grade stuff that go to businesses, industrial places, like 55-gallon barrels of stuff. And all this stuff is palletized, and it'll be strapped and banded to a pallet. All right. So that's going to be number 5, a number fizzle for my West Coast people. All right. Number 4 is going to be American Expediting. All right. Company I never talked about before. I know this company exists. I don't talk about this company, but I can only be right with you guys. If I'm giving out curbside final miles, I got to give you out what I think is the best when it comes to curbside final mile. All right. And especially I try to give you guys something that is accessible for you guys to, start the process of applying with. And R&L Carriers isn't that as far as accessible, but they pay is really, really well. So I had to put them on there. All right, so let's talk about American Expediting. Let me share my screen here. Sorry, where's that button at? Share screen. All right, so this is American Expediting. All right, now they deal with pretty much everything. All right, they deal with a lot of stuff, and they do healthcare, medical carrier, as well. All right, this is all the stuff they do right here. All right, what you're looking at will be right here, first and final mile, but on the final mile, same day courier services. All right. All right. They do white glove services, but we're not doing that. We're looking at final mile, same day courier. All right. Same day courier can operate in a multitude of vehicles, from a cargo van, no, from a personal vehicle up to a 26-foot box truck. In some cases, you have a short, like 48-foot semi truck, but not really. So anywhere from a car up to a 26-foot box truck. All right. So they deal with that. All right. So here's how you go and start the process. All right. Right here it says become an independent contractor, maximum flexibility. They have a video too I wanted to play for you guys. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. But anyway, you can go scroll down, or at the top, real convenient. It got independent contractors needed. Oh, here's the video right here. Let me play this real quick for y'all.
Want to be your own boss? Like driving and want to do something meaningful? Contract with American Expediting. For 40 years, we've been handling important and time-sensitive shipments, such as medication, legal documents, life-saving cancer treatments, medical samples, and high-tech spare parts to get planes back in the air. No passengers, takeout food, or groceries. Drive on your terms when and where you want.
All right, so I'm going to pause it real quick. I tried to blow this up to I don't know why it disappeared off my screen when I blow it up. But if you noticed, they do a lot of stuff in airports. So I'm gonna talk about that in a minute. But look at this also. You see their coverage zone, so they're everywhere. So no matter where you are, if you're watching, you should be able to get an opportunity with them.
Across the USA, take advantage of the many benefits available through OpenForce, including discounts on fuel.
All right, remember I did a video on OpenForce. OpenForce is going to be the onboarding app that you got to download, and that's going to be the app that you input all your information, and you're going to go through the whole onboarding process within that app.
Auto and health insurance, auto maintenance, commission advances, shopping, and travel. Accept only the jobs that work with your schedule. No zone requirements or specific working hours, and no cap on how much you can make. It's all up to you. Contract with American Expediting, build your own business, and move what matters. Go to americanexpediting.com/driversneeded and contract with us.
All right, so that's American Expediting. All right, so basically, like I said, you're gonna go to independent contractors, and then you're gonna go down. It's gonna give you a scope of what they're looking for, and then from there, here's your coverage zone, right? So here's the map of the coverage zone. Red means warehouse locations. Blue means agent partners. All right, so warehouse locations are like their owned and operated 3PL location. Now it works, but it didn't work when I was using the PDF. All right, so the red is gonna be their particular warehouses, right? And then the blue is gonna be cross docks, like what I used to do with my warehouse, cross docking, where the freight comes to my warehouse, and then I can final mile it from my warehouse. And if I want, I could have other independent owner operators just come to my warehouse and pick stuff up. So they have more cross docks than they have their own locations, because a lot of 3PLs are trying to get away from actual owning the real estate, owning the land, the building, all the costs that are associated with warehousing. And this is something I've talked about because I have experience in warehousing. I ran a warehouse, I owned a warehouse, I cross dock. And goes back to what I was saying, why I did it. It was a great experience, but if I had a chance to do it again, I wouldn't, because it's very expensive to run a warehouse. All right, so they're sourcing out that to individuals like how I was at one moment when I was a cross dock owner operator, to those people, and putting that cost off on them, because it's a lot of cost associated with running a warehouse. But as you can see, they got locations all over the place, more heavily in the Midwest to East Coast. It's more scattered as you get over on the West. It's populated over in California, but through this region and like the Mountain Pacific, if that's what it's called, it's more scarce. Midwest, up in my area, it's really populated. Down south, really a lot more on the east. All right. Basically, what you're going to do is you're just going to scroll down. You're going to look, see if they got an opportunity in your area, and you're just going to click and go from there. So, you're just going to click. I'm just going to click there. They give you a number to call. Now, notice this too, and this is what I want to talk about. Notice it says ORD MDW. Those are airport codes. So ORD is O'Hare, Midway is Midway Airport. All right. So basically, whatever you saw the video, they had parts for planes. You may be dropping off plane parts, so you're gonna need that TWIC card. You're gonna need that TWIC card. All right. For this company, because it looks like they deal a lot. They have a lot of contracts, it seems like, with airlines. All right, so especially if they're putting up the airport codes. Now, this could also mean that the warehouse or the cross dock are located around the airports. But more than likely, judging from the video where they show you're dropping off tires for airplane tire, jet tires, and stuff like that, more than likely, a lot of their contracts are centered around airlines. All right. So you might want to make sure you got that TWIC card in handy. And then once you get there is going to take you to Open Force. I did a video on Open Force last year. If you're not familiar with what Open Force is, go back through my catalog of content and watch the video that I did on Open Force. It's just an app that handles the onboarding process for the company. They've outsourced it. So you're not going to deal with them. You're going to download the app. You're going to upload your license, whatever it asks you, your EIN, your articles of incorporation. It's going to run the background for them. It's going to handle everything for them. And then you have to keep tabs on the app for the next process, whatever it needs you to sign. They're going to have you sign it, so on and so forth. Let's say you get through the whole onboarding process with American Expedite. Now the app Open Force is also going to be what you get your settlements on, your payment, your W. You're going to do your W-9 there. It's going to also look where you look at for your settlements at. Is what I'm trying to say. That's going to pay you, right? They also have benefits on Open Force for health, right? If you need an advance on your pay, for every $200, the app advances you on your upcoming settlement. It'll cost you $5. So for every 200 you need in advance, it'll cost you $5. They also have insurance providers for those of you that don't have insurance or are looking for insurance. There are providers listed within Open Force that you can sign up with that will, make the filings for you, and then those insurance payments will come out of every settlement. So as you get paid with American Expediting, if you go through one of the insurance providers through Open Force, your payment for your insurance, they'll break it into 2 payments or 4 payments depending on how you get paid. But every settlement, whenever you get paid, whatever you owe for insurance, they're going to deduct it. It's coming straight out your settlement. So it's more streamlined. Open Force is probably they're probably the number one like onboarding third-party software application that a lot of third-party logistics companies use. I'm familiar with it. I've had to use it for a multitude of third-party logistics companies that I've signed up with in the past. That's how you go through the onboarding process. That's how they pay you. SCI is another one. Select Express always use SCI, which is now AIT. All right, so that's Open Force. So don't feel, if you go to sign up and then you get this screen, just sign up for this, go through the process, because this is how you're going to apply with American Expeditors. Now, I think I saw something on let's see if I can pull it up, where it had some price points, because I like to show you things in their words. That way I don't never get well, Mark, you said. Mark always cites his sources. I always cite my sources, and this is why. All right, so let's share the screen here. All right, let me move myself out the way because I'm not important. The money is important. All right, so this is American Expedite. Here's an independent contractor opportunity, 500 to 800 a day. And this is a one-man, 26-foot lift gate, box truck operators. This is a one-man, full-time, Monday through Friday, owner-operator, independent contractor to make home deliveries. This is for Indianapolis, Monday through Friday, all day. You got to have hand tools, dolly, pallet jack. Truck must have lift gate, be home every night, no overnight trips. We need people right away. Apply today, start today. Crosstown Couriers is seeking gig worker professionals, qualified, focused gig work drivers. They're saying it's gig work, but this is dedicated. That's another thing I'm going to probably talk about in another video. Companies are starting to market and kind of like setting their business up for gig base to attract more people, so it doesn't seem like you're locked in. But as you can see, it says gig work, but then at the top it says full-time Monday through Friday. So that's just marketing propaganda. Crosstown Couriers is an ever-growing company across the states, providing top-quality same-day delivery service. This is a courier-based same-day delivery service. So in this particular case, you're going to be a same-day delivery if you're in this market with a 26-foot box truck, probably delivering, probably going to be more B2B stuff than anything else. We are looking for reliable couriers who are aware of the time-sensitive nature of third-party logistics delivery. 21 years old, cell phone, load and deliver products with safe and secure transportation of goods, communicate with dispatch for updates, delivery confirmations, root information, be dependable, willing to work, ability to remain calm and respectful in stressful situations. I've never seen a company put that ability to remain calm and respectful in stressful situations. A lot of people that is in this business, like it's just like I said, problem solving. It's just like I said, problem solving. You know what I'm saying? When you're in a business, you're gonna come up with a lot of problems, and like they're saying, you gotta remain calm, respectful, and you gotta be able to problem solve. You can't be the person that when things arise, you say, ah. You can't be like that. Matter of fact, hold on. Where my likes is at? 50 likes, 71 people. Man, y'all hit that like button, man. I'm working in here tonight. I'm working. So hit the like button for the kid. That's all I ask you. I ask you for not $1. All thing I'm asking you for is hit the like button. All right, please hit that like button. All right, so you got to remain calm in these situations, like I was saying earlier. A big part of being a business owner is the ability to be a great problem solver. And if you know, if you are a great problem solver, if you can become a great problem solver, then you'll be a great business owner because things are going to arise in business. All right. Excellent opportunity for those who are looking for a flexible full-time, part-time availability schedule. So they're looking for part-time and full-time. So that's probably why they have full-time, and then they also use the gig verbiage later on down this listing for those people who aren't looking for full-time. Weekly settlement paid by direct deposit with no extra charge. That weekly settlement is going to be paid through that Open Force app. All right. You can email them here. And then right here it says $500 to $800 a day, guys, Monday through Friday. All right. So let's say you max out at 800. That's 4,000. So a lot of people running over the road that's sitting somewhere looking on a load board trying to find a partial or two to come back to the crib. They've been sitting for a day or two. Here's $500 to $800 a day. So let's max it out. $800 a day, 5 days a week. That's $4,000. I know people that are running OTR that's not even making half of that, or making a little bit over half of that, about 25. The average person I talk to that's running OTR right now is making somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000 a week. Here's $4,000, and you can sleep in your bed at night. So, opportunities are out there. Now, if you're going to be the person to sit and complain about the rates are trash and this, that, and the third, then just keep complaining. Because I guarantee, a lot of people that's watching is already putting this on their list to do first thing in the morning. So don't let somebody beat you to the punch, all right? Because now it's a race, you know what I'm saying? The spot market is going to be the spot market. That ain't going to change no time soon. So you could either be the person that's joining in on the complainers complaining about it while time whisks away, or you could be a problem solver and a good business owner and transition your business from being OTR to being a local person who has a dedicated daily route. You don't have to worry about calling a broker, looking on a load board. You're going to have dedicated, consistent freight Monday through Friday that you're going to get paid for. You can sleep in your bed at night. You can kiss your kids. You can kiss your husband. You can kiss your wife. You can go to the gym. You can go out on the weekends with your friends. You're not trapped somewhere in the middle of nowhere trying to wait on this broker to get back to you or find a load coming back a certain type of way that's worth your while. Here's a solution to the problem. All right. So what we got American Expediting. I spend a lot of time with American Expediting because I haven't talked about them before. But here you go, guys. So $500 to $800 a day. All right. So you guys can do the math on that. All right. All right. So that was number 4, American Expediting. All right. All right. Let's go to number 3 now. Number three is going to be, y'all might not like this one. 3 going to be TQL. 3 going to be TQL. 3 going to be TQL. And here's why 3 is going to be TQL. Because TQL has a good curbside final mile department. All right. One of the main things they run is HD supply. All right. How do you feel about them as far as on the OTR side? This side is a little bit different, right? It's a little bit different. I got a few people, subs that run this, right? HD supply in different parts of the country. Pays on around about $600 a day, about $3,000 a week. All right. Um, you guys obviously know how to apply with TQL. You guys know how to inquire with TQL. So I don't have to spend a lot of time with TQL. You know what I'm saying? You guys know how to get busy with them. All right. Whatever animosity you may have against them, as far as the rates that, they offer on the other side of the business, you kind of can't look at that on this side of the business. I think $600 a day for 10 to 15 stops, I think that's good. I think that's great. One man, you got final mile big and bulky accounts that are paying 500, 600 a day for two men. And you're lifting things and carrying things and all that stuff, going upstairs when this is just pallets. Your lift gate, your pallet jack, and pallets. No climbing stairs, none of that stuff. So pallet jack is doing pretty much all the work for you. So $600 a day, $3,000 a week, same situation. You get to sleep in your own bed. You can work out in your gym. You can kiss your wife, kiss your husband, kiss your kids, party with your friends on the weekend, um, and just have a peace of mind knowing that that Monday through Friday there's going to be some freight for you. You don't know what's going to be on those pallets from one day to the next, right? And you don't know if your stops are going to vary. You're going to have a full 15 stops, let's say, or 14, 12, 10, whatever stop. But you know that you're going to go in and there's going to be something and you're going to get a guarantee of about $600 and you can go home at the end of the day. All right. So that's TQL and they're going to be number 3. All right. Number two gonna be Capstone. Yeah, Capstone. Capstone has, and I don't talk about it. It's a lot of things I don't talk about. You know what I'm saying? I talk about them, but I haven't expounded on them. All right, so let's talk about Capstone. I know I did a video recently about their 16-foot opportunities, but let's do something as far as their 26-foot opportunities. So similar to American Expediting, Capstone also has a similar program for 26-foot box trucks, one man curbside final mile, where it's curbside for home delivery curbside, or whether it's B2B, which is business to business. So let's bring up Capstone so I can show you guys uh, what to look for, how to go about it. All right, let me share my screen here. Let me remove myself. All right, so this is Capstone. I like Capstone because they have a lot of opportunity. It's easy to find the opportunities. They're very responsive. Um, they just make it simple for owner operators or independent contractors who are looking for work. And like I said, when I did my top 10 countdown, I really value that. You know what I'm saying? I think that's very important. So this is their website. And right here at the top, right here, become a carrier. It's simple. It's simple. Um, last mile delivery, brand protection from purchase to consumer delivery. All right. Um, and here you have it. You know what I'm saying? So let's go back to become a carrier. And then you just sign up. Become a carrier. You just sign up. That's it. Sign up. Here's their network. So here's their network. So when you go to their website, you can see if they're operating in your network, so you're not wasting your time. They offer quick pay. All right, direct deposit, fuel advance, quick pay, transflow. All right. Now let's go and look at. Let's go and look at. Let's go and look at some opportunities that they have, guys. Um, let's see. How's everybody doing out there tonight? Hope y'all doing well. Hit that like button for me. I appreciate it if you hit the like button for me. All right, let me share my screen. You got 77 people in here. Go ahead and hit that like button. All right, so here's Capstone for 26-foot box truck opportunities. Now, Capstone doesn't do big and bulky that I know of. All right, everything that I know for Capstone is one man, whether it's in a 14 to 16 foot, a Sprinter van, or a 26-foot box truck. All right, the smaller stuff is postal stuff and staples, but here's the bigger stuff for the 26-foot box truck. Now, I'm always going to keep it funky. On the pay side of the one man, there, as you can see, it's not as high as your American Expeditors. It's not as high as TQL. It's not as high as R&L carriers, right? But it still is an opportunity. So $550 a day, gets you right around $3,000 a week if you're maxing out at $550 a day. But let's take a look at the opportunity they have, and then you can go apply when you look at the map and see if these opportunities for a one-man 26-foot box truck route is available in your market. Capstone is seeking experienced independent couriers. Couriers is the key word, right? Whenever you see couriers, guys, and you're looking at a 26-foot box truck opportunity, you never have to wonder if it's big and bulky, because big and bulky isn't courier. Anything that's courier based, that word courier is one man. All right. Owner operated to provide excellent, reliable pickup and delivery service using your own 24 or 26-foot box truck. So they're even allowing 24 footers. I know a lot of you guys have 24 footers. Be worried, well, are they going to accept my 24 footer? They'll accept your 24 footer. Work 5 days per week, Monday through Friday, another 5 day a week. Possible work available on Saturday. All right, so they have overtime opportunities. This particular run opportunities in New Jersey, New York. Pay will vary per route distance, 100 to 200 miles, which isn't a big thing for you guys that are looking to pivot from OTR to curbside final mile. That's nothing for you guys. All right, route time will be 89 plus hours and up to 12 stops a day. So 12 stops a day. Start time will be at 6 a.m. and finish between 2 and 3, depending on the route details. Start at 6 a.m., finish between 2 and 3, guys. Pallet jack needed. A little background on the company. And $425 to $550 a day. They get an A for effort. They get an A for level of ease to apply. As far as pay, they get, in my scale, it's not as high as the other 3 companies that I listed prior to them. But why I listed Capstone number 2 is because they have a lot of opportunity. They may not be everywhere like some of these other companies, but they have a lot of opportunities as far as the 26-foot box truck, the Sprinter van, and they have 16-foot box truck opportunities and similar courier work. All right, so once again, pay ain't up there compared to the other ones, but I got them at number 2 because I think they have a lot of opportunities for everybody, no matter what size vehicle you got. Sprinter, cargo, 14-footer, 16-footer, 18-footer, 24, 26-footer. So I gave them that because they have a lot of opportunity. If $550 a day works for you, then it works for me. All right. If it works for you, it works for me. All right. So let's see. I want to get rid of that. Let's pull this up here. Hit that like button, guys. Come on in. All right. So we the number 1 now, guys. We the number 1. Let me get some interactive. Who can guess what number 1 may be? Who can guess what number 1 may be? Who can guess what number 1 may be? Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. Who can guess what number 1 may be? Anthony Townsend said RXO. I'm going to take 2 more guesses. Interstate Screw said T-Force. So we got RXO, we got T-Force, and Javon Jack said T-Force. So number 1 is going to be T-Force. T-Force it is. So we had 3 T-Forces and 1 RXO. So everybody that said T-Force was absolutely right. Absolutely right. All right, so T Force is number one. Um, I talk about T Force a lot. Obviously, there's a soft spot in my heart for T Force because a lot of the things that I have today, T Force enabled me. Dynamics. I'm gonna say dynamics because there was dynamics when I was with them. Matter of fact, I still got. I'm gonna show. I'm gonna wear that one day. I'm gonna wear my. I'm gonna wear it. Dynamics put me in the position to. They actually introduced Final Mile to me. You know what I'm saying? I was happy making a lot of money, running 3 moving trucks, making a lot of money in the summertime. A lot of money. Um, and then that call that day that I got from this guy named Eric Field. I didn't like that guy. Um, but he called, so I gotta be honest, and introduced and invited me in and introduced me to this world of Final Mile that I didn't even know existed. And that just changed my life, right? So T Force got a soft spot, but also T Force is a good company. They have their ups and downs, but it's a good company. Now I'm not going to show you their website. I am going to show you their website. I'll show you their website, but like I always say for everybody that watches my channel, they don't update their website. So going to their website is going to be a waste of time. But I'm going to show people for laughs and giggles because there may be people that are not on the channel as often as others. That was for the semi trucks. So hold on. Let's go. You're gonna go to T Force Logistics. All right, so T Force Logistics is their website. But you don't want to go here and waste your time um to onboard because they don't they don't keep up with their website. But let's check. Maybe they are keeping up with it now. Select opportunities. Let's say 26 footer contracted delivery services. No, let's say allow. Let's say no. Let's go to all locations. Search. All right, 2 years ago. So even if we sort uh posted date descending order 2 years ago, ascending order 3 years ago, right? So they don't. I I don't know why they don't keep up with their website, but let's go to here. I want to look at one more thing. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me pull this up. Allow. Why is this popping up? Oh. All right, let's go over here. I'm gonna pull this up. I just wanted to see something real quick. All right, let's go here. Let me share my screen. All right, so here's Indeed. Let's go to T Force. Let's go to box truck. Let's hit search. Let's see. All right, so box truck opportunities for T Force. You probably want to go and find them on a job listing board, or you can come to Indeed, and then you can inquire and get go through the onboarding process uh, there. And then they have all the one man um, independent contractor, owner, operator opportunities. Now, recently, because I got a video coming out about T Force in the next couple of days, I'm just waiting on the artwork for it so I can release it. Um, they actually changed this. But my video is going to reflect the postings that they had last week up to a few days ago. They recently changed it from a daily rate to a yearly rate because this said 500 to 700 a day a few days ago, and that's what my thumbnail is going to say. So I'm letting it be known now. Don't come at me. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not gonna have this guy redesign the thumbnail again. But now they switched it to 118 to 150 a year, which is pretty much the same thing. But these are one man opportunities. One of North America's largest transportation brokers is seeking to contract with delivery service providers using a 26-foot box truck to make no contact deliveries. Keyword, no contact. So one man, courier, no contact deliveries. This is a 6-day a week, guys, Monday through Saturday. Monday through Saturday. Now, for, they probably have an NDA, so I can't say that every contract is going to be Home Depot, but everybody that I've coached out of over the road, right? Because I send more people to T-Force than anywhere else. Everybody that I send to T-Force within the past 30 days that have came off the road that I've coached into Curbside Final Mile has been working the Home Depot account. All right. They've been working Home Depot. Now, T-Force has other things. They have other accounts for 26-foot box trucks, but the people that I've coached out of OTR into Curbside Final Mile and pushed them into T-Force, they're all doing Home Depot. So more than likely, it'll be Home Depot. All right. That you'll be doing. Here are the opportunity offers. No earning cap. So according to them, you'll make as much money as you want, or you can make excellent rates and density. So in this market, they're saying the density is good. If you're not familiar with density is, go back and look at my live stream from this past Sunday where I broke down high density and low density, choosing what lane to run in your box truck based on your region. All right. So if you don't know what density is, I did a whole live stream on high density and low density this past Sunday. So go check it out. Weekly settlements, local area deliveries, ability to be home every night, EIN, prior delivery or courier service preferred. If you don't have prior delivery or courier service, if you're not a guy that's transitioning from OTR into this, or you're someone that's watching that's looking to get into the space, and maybe you're thinking about going OTR, but now I've kind of like got you excited about, this Curbside Final Mile thing. If you don't have prior delivery courier experience, don't worry, because you got me. You got all my content. You got my experience, and I'll coach you in the right direction. All right. Your own or lease vehicle, 24 to 26 foot box truck, availability for daytime deliveries Monday through Saturday. Dollar your hand truck, lift gate, able to lift up 60 pounds, smartphone, English, driver's license, blah, blah, blah. All right. You guys get it. All right. So these are opportunities for 26 foot box truck. Here's another one in Savannah, Georgia, same scope. If there is a T-Force, Columbia, South Carolina, all right, so if there's a T-Force in your area, guys, I strongly recommend you go to T-Force. The reason why I put T-Force number one, because I've dealt with them. It's easy to get in there. It's not easy to get in contact with them, let's say through their website, but if you go there, you can get in there, guys. They have a very seamless process once you make contact with them. I have experience with this company. For the most part, they're very laissez-faire. Very laissez-faire when it comes to, dealing with their contractors, independent owner operators. They're not as strict as other companies that I've dealt with. So even though they have a few times where early on where they didn't pay me, they owe me 30 grand. Other than that, a lot of the things that I have is because of them, because I wouldn't have known about Final Mile if they wouldn't have called me that day and introduced it to me and brought me in, paid me a guarantee to pretty much do nothing on a 7-day a week contract. My trucks work Sunday and Monday, but the other days, man, I was getting $500-$600 a day guarantee, $500 a day Monday through Friday, $600 a day guarantee on the weekends. And most of those days, each one of my trucks only had one stop, but they still had to pay me that guarantee. Sundays and Mondays were heavy because a lot of people went into IKEA. IKEA's busiest shopping day is Sunday, and then a lot of people get that next day delivery for Monday, and then you got a lot of people shopping Saturday. They're getting that next day delivery for Sunday. So Sunday and Monday were always busy days. Tuesday through Saturday, as far as delivery, wasn't much. So you would never hear me really say anything bad about T-Force, because I don't forget where I came from, and I'll never shit on a company that put me in the game and allowed me to elevate. So, but that's not why they're number one. They're number one because they have the opportunity, and they're very laissez-faire, and they're very inviting. Once you make contact with them, they're very inviting, and they make the process very simple and very easy. Even the people that I've coached into T-Force in the past month or so, it was a lot more seamless process than some of the other companies that I have contact with, as far as executives. Some of these companies, they they reach out to the channel, say they want to work with me to help get people, and then they act funny with me. So but T Force is a easy company to on board with. So that's number one, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the countdown. I hope you guys got some type of value from the opening part of the show. Me explaining, why pivoting may be important to some of you who want to pivot. Maybe you got some inspiration, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe you were kind of scared, and maybe I kind of, gave you that pep speech for you to, make that transition if you're not succeeding and over the road. There's other opportunities that you can do in your box truck that aren't big and bulky. I think everybody, when they think of me, they think big and bulky. And no, I know a plethora of different ways you can get money. So you can do this, So that's what it is. I'll take some questions now. And then I'm gonna get out of here. I appreciate everybody for coming in. We got 71 people and we got 71 likes. Wow, that's great, guys. That lets me know that y'all really rocking with the boy. I gotta give a hand clap for that. And a Jamaican air horn, if that's a Jamaican air horn. So I appreciate it. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the like button. All right, so questions. I'm gonna scroll back up. I'm gonna take some. I ain't going back up to the beginning, guys. I'm gonna get as many as I can, and then I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Michael says he's late. Can you please explain more? Mike, I came on at 8 on the dot. It's 9:45. I've been talking for an hour and 45 minutes, talking about pivoting from OTR to Curbside Final Mile. So for an hour and 45 minutes, man, I can't repeat that, man. You're gonna have to go back and watch the replay, brother. I'm sorry, man. I can't repeat it. Just go back and watch the replay. Young World, go back and watch the replay. Shout out to Young World in the building. I talked to Young World yesterday through the DM. He was up here in the trenches yesterday. Young World was in the trenches. He's like, man, I rode through Woodlawn yesterday. He was out in Lansing at the Red Roof Inn. Shout out to Young World, man. Next time you in town, man, don't slide through without. Man, you ain't got to check in, but check in with your boy, man. I might take you to dinner, man. We meet up, have a few drinks, man. Talk, you know what I'm saying? I'm a real cat. I meet up with if you coming through the city, all you got to do is hit me up. D-Walk hit me up. He came through the city, man. I took him and the son out to eat. I didn't get them drinks because they was hitting the road. But, if you ain't hitting the road, man, we can eat good, man. We can chop it up, man. I'm going to be a gracious host. If you in my city, I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? So, you sliding through the land, you know what I'm saying? Just hit me up. It said Pastor Mark been preaching for 2 hours, man. I've been 2 hours, man. So you gotta go back and watch that replay, man. I'm trying to get the Postal Service delivering mail. You trying to get the Postal Service delivering mail, you need to go to USPS.com. The United States Postal Service for a letter carrier. Now, if you're trying to carry e-commerce stuff to the post office, then Capstone has a great opportunity for you in a 1416 box truck. So I don't know if you worded that right. You know what I'm saying? Because if you're trying to deliver mail, then you want to apply for a letter carrier. How much can you make with one box truck? That varies. It depends on what you're doing. Are you running OTR? Are you running Curbside Final Mile? Are you running big and bulky Final Mile? Are you doing Amazon Relay? Are you starting a moving company? What are you doing? Depends on what you're doing. Now, I can tell you what pays the most and what pays the least, but that all depends on what you're doing. Then on top of that, it also depends on how you run your business. Are you really going to work your business, or are you going to be a part-time worker? Are you going to really maximize your earning potential in the trucks? Depends. That all depends on the individual. I can tell you what pays the most down to what pays the least, but how much you can earn, that's completely up to you. So, and I can give you averages. So, but if a box truck, if you start a moving company, that's where you're gonna make your most money at, because you're charging the consumer directly by the hour. All right, right now the going rate, is about $300 an hour. So one truck, three guys on the truck, about $300 an hour, about $200 truck fee plus 20% markup on materials. So you get the right move, 3-4 bedroom, all day, 10 to 14 hour move. You're looking at 4-5 grand, depending on how much materials you use. You know what I'm saying? And that's on the high end. On the average end, about 3 grand, 4-bedroom house. $300 an hour, 10 to 14 hour day, 300 an hour, 225 truck fee, 20% markup on materials. That's where you're gonna make your most money at. Right under that, it's gonna be curbside final mile. Depending on the contract you got, depending on the market, you're looking about $250,000 a year per truck. Right under that, I would put OTR, not curbside final mile. I said, so moving, then big and bulky final mile. I'm sorry, big and bulky final mile. You're gonna make about $250,000 a year. Right under that, I'm gonna put curbside and OTR at about the same. About, if you really work it really, really good, you can do about 150. In my 11 months and 2 weeks on YouTube, I'll be at 1 year and 2 weeks on YouTube. So in my 50 weeks on YouTube, I have yet to meet someone outside of, Kirk is in a semi truck, that has made, and I'm talking running the correct way. One truck that has made $200,000. All right, about 150 is the average. All right. So, and that's curbside final mile, and that's OTR. Amazon, at the height of everything, you was looking at probably about 100 grand, 100 so grand. Amazon gonna be at the bottom. Amazon's numbers are finicky. You know what I'm saying? Now, from what Amazon says, their top earning relay people are making right at about 100. All right. Now, are there people making over 100? Yeah, but Amazon is putting this number at people who are running by the book, by their, not cutting corners, not doing ghost drivers and all that stuff that, I know people know how to do, you know what I'm saying? But running straight up the way Amazon wants you, the most, they're saying their top DSPs are right at about 100. So, would you recommend building a team around the e-commerce and curbside, or the big and bulky? When you say building a team, you mean scaling? Or you mean building a team on a truck? If you're talking about building a team on a truck for big and bulky, you're going to have to build a team, because you're going to need two to three guys on that truck. Would you recommend building a team around the e-commerce? If you're talking about scaling, I think scaling is fine, but the business needs to be able to scale on itself. The business can sustain its own self, and the business can scale the business, then yeah, go, by all means, go for it. Which of the 5 outside of Capstone Logistics work with cargo vans and sprinters? T-Force, American Expediting, T-Force, and American Expediting do. Really quick, what's a ghost driver? A ghost driver is another name that's been put into the system, went through everything that needs to go into the system to qualify them to be able to be in the system, to be a driver, but they never drive. So that way, if you are at your peak, let's say Amazon only allows each driver to do one load a day, or your driver has reached their hours of service, right? You got another driver that can run that same truck and do loads, right? That's on the account, right? But they're a ghost driver, meaning you have somebody that goes sign up, go through all the procedures to be listed, but when you need to switch out of your name for whatever reason to keep running and keep making money, you just log in under their name. You know, that's a ghost driver. That's a ghost driver. How to get work with big and bulky? You gotta apply with a third party logistics company that does big and bulky delivery. You gotta watch some of my videos, bro. You know, I'm in a quest to cut my lives down, right? So like how I used to sit on here for 4 or 5 hours and talk, like I can't do that no more, guys. I gotta cut them down to 2 3 hours at the most. So like a lot of the questions I answer, but I want to really answer questions that's pertaining to the topic. And then if it's not pertaining to the topic, if I got time to chill out, I will. But for this question, big and bulky, the simple, quick answer, you got to apply with a third party logistics company that has big and bulky accounts. I got plenty of videos and live streams that'll point you in that right direction. I'm definitely going to need you to watch my video because the questions you guys are answering, his answers. Yeah, so basically what he said. And do you do one-on-one mentorship? No, I don't do mentorship, man. I just do coaching and consultations. So mentorship, no. Mentorship, no. Mentorship, as far as you paying me $5,000 or $10,000 and you get my personal number and I hold your hand through the whole process, and you can call me in the middle of the night when you're upset and I walk you through it and all that stuff. No, I don't do that. I don't do that. Never will do it. Coaching and consultations, that's it. And you can go to my website, www right here boxtruckcourses.com, to book a time slot. Shout out to everybody that I went through a coaching session for this week. You can go here and book you a session, and we can talk. But as far as mentorship, I just, no, I don't do mentorship. Just leave it at that. Michael says he's sorry he just subscribed. No, it's all good. You're new here. It's all good. You just subscribed. That means you got a lot of content you got to catch up on, man. So man, I've had a lot of new subscribers. So shout out to all the new subscribers. Shout out to the Mentor Gang members, man. The MGMs, the Mentor Gang members. A lot of people signing up to be members. A lot of new subscribers. So I appreciate everybody that's subscribing. I had a few people that messaged me this week and said, man, they found the channel, they just subscribed, they've been binge watching the content, man. So shout out to all y'all, man. Just try to catch up. I go live, Michael. I go live Sundays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I do a show Mondays with Kirk, maybe Axel, I'm not sure, called the Three Wise Men. But if I don't hear from Axel by the next show, it's just going to be the Wise Men. And if I don't hear from him, I don't know. I got to talk to Kirk, see if we're going to replace that spot. If Axel don't want to do it no more, if he don't get in contact, if we don't replace that spot, then it'll just be the Wise Men. So I do that every Monday, and that's also at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. So Monday, 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, which is like a discussion show / debate show where we talk about topics that are pertaining to the space, other things too. And you got more than just me, so you got differences of opinion. Sometimes it turns into debate, which is healthy, right? Which is healthy because that gets engagement in the chat, and then the chat can input as well. So that's Monday, and then Thursday and Sunday at 8, I just pretty much do an educational live stream where most of the time I do a PowerPoint presentation and I present something, and I do a Q&A afterwards. So I really don't just get up here and just talk and complain. When you see me on live, it's usually something educational that maybe you can learn from based on my previous experience and my educational background. Shout out to Young World for the super chat, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You always give some good, what does it say? You always give some good game to get some good food. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be where I'm at, man. I appreciate that, man. It means a lot to me. I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that super chat. Yeah, Mark be dropping the gems. No lie, definitely great content. Trey Wright, appreciate you, appreciate you. Better worded, would it be better to have a business built around big and bulky or curbside e-commerce? Curbside it's hard to hire for anybody nowadays, but it's easier to hire one person to put on a truck than two. So let me say that. If I with big and bulky, you gotta hire two people. With curbside, you only gotta hire one. So besides coming up to Illinois, what other place I could shoot to that's more than likely to have good freight? Anywhere in the Midwest. Illinois, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Ohio, Indiana, Iowa. Anywhere in the Midwest. Anywhere in the Midwest. You want the money or what? Says I be trying to tell them, Mark, but they stuck in their ways, man. People got to get out their ways. I be trying to tell them too, but you know it is what it is. You're gonna be stuck. You know what I'm saying? You can't get stuck like Chuck. You know what I mean? So if it ain't working, you gotta move around. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. So the only thing I can do is tell you and maybe reiterate it from time to time. But the people who listen, they listen. The people that don't, don't. Some people don't wait to listen to the last minute, but then it'd be too late. So, like somebody told me earlier in the comment, man, it's hard making that change that first time where you got to pivot, man. Listen here. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard, but guess what? It got to be done. So, just do it. You know what I'm saying? Just do it. D Sneaker Express say he starts with Spirit Logistics Saturday. He can't wait, man. Congratulations, man. I love hearing that, man. I love hearing that. Max, I see your comment. I'm not gonna put it on the screen, but I just I'm just letting you know I see it, and I will take what you're saying into consideration. I'm waiting for a few final mile companies to get back to me. Interstate Screw, you email me. Just apply a little pressure. If those companies are in your local area, then like I said, there's nothing wrong with going up there. You know what I mean? Tracy said leave a Honda out of it. Well, you know, Honda Civic, that must be when I was talking about the Honda Civic, but it's true. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people got box truck dreams and cargo van money in comparison to, you know, Mercedes-Benz S-Series dreams. And since you're saying I don't say Honda Civic, all right, we're going to say Chevy Malibu. Let's say Chevy Malibu. Let's say Honda Accord. Let's say Kia Sorento, Kia Optima, whatever. But you get what I'm you get where I'm going with it. Let's see. Shout out to Nick. Don Beasy say love this space. Appreciate you. Any questions? I'm gonna keep coming to Illinois because I think that's the closest to Georgia. Because you and Kirk, I'm going to gross almost 5,000 this week. Because man, that's what's up, man. Congratulations, man. I love hearing that, man. I love hearing that, man. That is what is up. That's what's up, man. Man, see, that's all it takes, y'all. You just, you know, me and Kirk, man, you know, we really trying to help people, and all you gotta do is listen. Guys. That's it. It don't cost you nothing to listen. Just like it don't cost you nothing to, you know, chime in on here on Sundays and Thursday nights. You know, I appreciate it. So, you know, our experience and our tenure, our years of being in this space and the knowledge that we have is why we can direct you guys into. And I haven't had any, you know, and you guys saying this, there's no bad reviews. Like all I've gotten is good reviews. You know, I don't do mentorships. I just do coaching and consultation. And I feel like that's really all a person need. You know, I'm not knocking nobody's mentorship. I just don't have the patience for it. I'm gonna keep it funky. Somebody said, Mark, you ain't got the patience for that. You're right. I ain't got it. I ain't got the patience to hold nobody's hand because I feel like I give a lot of information for free and I can do a coaching consultation. I can do a coaching session or a consultation and you can get the same thing at a more economical price than me charging a person thousands of dollars to hold your hand. Because either you're gonna get it, you're gonna get it. Like I can't hold you. None of these people can hold your hand and be out there in the field with you. You know what I'm saying? A lot of this stuff, you got to I give enough information. And here's another thing. I give enough information for free in my live stream. So it would really be I'll really be like sticking people up because a lot of the stuff that I would teach you in a mentorship, I'm doing on these live streams for free. So it really defeats the purpose for me doing a mentorship. So I just do your coaching, consultations, and we can discuss strategies at a more affordable price than the mentorship stuff. But yeah, man, all you gotta do is listen. That's it. Everybody that listen, man, they're gonna win. Is Jersey a good place for box trucks? Of course. Jersey is that's the tri-state area. You got New York right there. You got 9 million people right there. Of course. Of course it's a good place for box truck. Now, as far as the volume and the density is concerned, the opportunity, now maneuvering a box truck and all that traffic and stuff, that's another conversation. But is it a good place as far as to make money? Heck yeah. Hi, Mark. Did you contact Axel? I hope he comes back. I talked about this in the beginning of the show for like 15 minutes, but without going into further detail, I reached out to him that night. I contacted him twice the next day. He still hasn't called me back. He responded. He sent me the voicemail. He responded immediately after he sent me the voicemail through text, saying he was going to call me right back. He was busy. He didn't call back. That was the first night he said we'll talk tomorrow. Blah, 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 blah. I called him the next day. He sent me the voicemail, then sent me a text and said he's in the middle of something. He's going to call me right back. He didn't call me back. I waited like 3 or 4 hours. I called him back again, which is something I don't do. Once I call you once, then that's it. So this makes my third time reaching out that Tuesday evening. I called him again. He sent me the voicemail. He sent the text right after that, said he was working, which every time I talk to him, he's working because he's driving. He said, I'm working. I'm going to call you back in a sec. Never called me back. So that's it. I called 3 times. He said he was going to call me back. He never called me back. Today is Thursday. It is what it is. All right. So that's that. If you're going to drive in New York as a New Yorker, or I'm telling you to check your clearance, capital letters, clearance. Yeah, New Yorkers should know that, just like Chicagoans should know that. Is Texas a good place for cargo sprinter vans? What about box truck? Yeah, Texas is a good place, especially if you're in Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, places like that. Then you Gucci. You're Gucci. You're Gucci. You're Gucci. Hit that like button, guys. Come on in here and hit that like button if you're getting some type of value. If you enjoyed yourself tonight, we are approaching. Well, we just approached 10 o'clock. I think that's it then, guys. I think that's it. I think I'm going to get out of here. I think I'm going to keep it at 2 hours tonight, guys. I think I'm going to keep it at 2 hours tonight. I think this was a good show. I covered some things that I needed to talk about, from the other day. I did some educational stuff. I answered a few questions. And I think this is a good show. And I'm gonna retire, man. I'm gonna actually get in the bed early tonight. On the night that I did a live stream, I might actually get in the bed before midnight. Yep. So, with that being said, guys, I don't see no more questions. And if it is some questions, you're gonna probably have to hold them. Appreciate the content, brother. Keep it coming, man. Yeah, we're gonna keep it coming. I got a bunch of videos about to come out. I'm just waiting on the artwork to come back, and then I'm gonna drop them. Other than that, Sunday I got a live stream. Monday show is gonna be put on hold until Kurt comes back. So the Monday show is gonna be put on pause until the week after next. So this Monday we're not going to do a show. Kirk will be back Monday, so we'll do the show next Monday. Now, if Kirk comes back Monday and he said, you know what, let's do a show Tuesday or Wednesday, then, hit the notification, guys. You'll get the notification. You'll know we're on. I'll post it in my story, and we may postpone this Monday show to Tuesday or Wednesday. But if not, then the following Monday. So I'll be on Sunday and Thursday. Kirk will not be on this Sunday because he's on vacation with his wife. So y'all only gonna have me this Sunday, and then that's that, guys. All right, y'all. So man, I appreciate y'all for chiming in with your boy tonight. I hope y'all enjoyed the content. Make sure you hit that like button on your way out the door. Until the next time, guys. When you show comparisons, man, it's always one last question, man. Hey, when you show companies hiring, do you use Indeed? Yeah, I use Indeed. I use Indeed. When I use Indeed. But that's not the only source that I have, but that's the source that I show. That's the source that I show is Indeed. All right. All right. So, all right, guys. Been a good night. Hit that like button on your way out. Appreciate y'all guys. Till next time, I'm out.